Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to present to you and formally introduce Bob, Cos, and Arthur, the Play No Games podcast.
It's your favorite podcast. When we talk about real life and exchange a few laughs, we sticking to our path. When you find understanding, just know that will never last. We ain't here to play no games. The world is getting crazy, and now we know we gotta be
It's Portland's
the
most
change.
dangerous podcast back here again. It's Cartier Bob,
It's Tate Ford.
It's Cos.
and we have a wonderful installment of the Play No Games podcast. But really quick, like, comment, subscribe, and if you want to go a little further, right above here, $ herobob. Help me pay my friends. I'm trying to get them out of the 9-to-5 grind, and that starts with helping us out. But we got a delicious opportunity for y'all today.
Yeah, no, we sure do. It's been a little while since we had a guest. This one is really close to my heart. It's a personal friend of mine. She is a extremely talented, smart individual, very personable, and I would like to just take the time to introduce Miko.
Thank you.
Welcome.
That was so sweet, Tay. Thank you so much. Hi, guys. I'm Miko. I go by Crime by Meeks on social media. I'm sure you've heard that name by now. Somewhere. I know your aunties and grandmas was talking about me. But, yes, I'm a hairstylist from Portland. Well, originally from Ethiopia. Moved to Portland when I was 10. And, yeah, just kind of found my craft and hair really young, and I just kind of pursued it. And so, yeah, I've been doing hair for about 9 years now, licensed. So
Nice.
yeah.
Well, before you get too deep into your story,
Yes. And I get carried away.
No, you're good. You good. We usually play this game up here on the show called Play No Games.
Okay.
The double entendre.
Okay.
So, just a quick spiel, just give like a couple minutes, 30 seconds, however much you want to talk about it. Just something you play no games about. So, just give you a quick example. I'm gonna volunteer Cos to kick us off.
Yeah. So on this week, I'm playing no games about food poisoning.
Ew.
Wait, hold up, unpack that. What you mean?
I had food poisoning this weekend for the first time in my life. Actually, funny enough, when I was a kid, I had a stomach flu.
Yeah.
That took me out for a week. So in my head, that wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. Turns out, food poisoning, more like a 24 to 48 hour type of deal, but not fun. Really not fun. Took me out. I'll say this as a warning. I think it was the McMinimans. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, which one?
I went to the Kennedy School.
Hold on. I'm a Northeast baby. We're not taking no Kennedy School to Slander. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we are.
I'm just saying. I recently moved here. I never had an issue with the West Side McMinimans specifically.
The Kennedy one is mid as fuck.
It is, but that's a staple of my childhood, though. So I'm sorry.
It's cool. No, I was really excited to go there, but immediately after eating the tacos there,
Why would you get tacos there?
because I didn't want something that heavy. I wanted tacos.
Bro, that's like a glorified bar. Fries, tater tots, like.
I didn't want something greasy.
So I was get some tacos.
Yeah.
It's less grease.
It is less grease than a burger. I'm saying tacos are less grease. It was flour too.
Okay.
And yeah, rough night, rough Sunday, rough Monday.
Oh, man.
Up or out?
No comment.
There we
Yeah,
go.
say that.
Spare the details. No comment. I'll just say there was a bucket next to me.
Real.
Yeah, rough time, not fun. Wouldn't recommend. I don't even know how to advise people. Cook your own food, I guess. That's
Yeah.
my honest advice.
All right, I'm gonna just go from there. One thing I'm playing no games about. At this point, I had to break it to my grandparents, and they were kind of heartbroken about this. I'm not voting in the presidential election this year.
You're one of those bastards.
I made that decision. No, I still vote locally, and I encourage people to do so. But the clown show that both these clowns are running right now, this week, I don't know if y'all saw it earlier. I think it was either yesterday or the day before Glorilla was at the White House. And this is no disrespect to Glo because I fuck with her music, but it's kind of one of those situations with that Dave Chappelle skit. Like, who the fuck gives a fuck what Ja Rule got to say? Like, bro, they do this every 4 years. I swear to you, I know it's presidential, like election time when the White House starts pandering towards black people with BS like this.
Only thing I'm gonna say is, hey, you're a grown ass man, you do what you want, but just remember, there are other things to vote for, like the Senate, the House of Representatives. I just want to make sure.
That's why I clarified and said just the presidential.
Okay,
election.
just want to make sure.
So you're gonna fill out the bracket or the ballot?
Ballot, yeah, but that
Well, same thing.
at this point it's a crapshoot. So
Yeah,
you're right.
so you're gonna fill out the ballot except for the presidential race, or are you gonna write in like Snoop Dogg or someone?
Loki,
You're bad.
oh God, bro.
You have to complete it for it to count.
No, do
Oh.
y'all remember?
Do you really
you
have
have to
to?
vote. For
Do y'all remember?
every-
Oh.
Yeah, do y'all remember in 2016 when Harambe had like
He was
almost
third
like
place.
yeah, it was
Fourth
like
place.
five, like 10,000 votes or
Yeah.
something crazy like that. But I don't know, I might do something like
Go
that.
for like Jason Tatum or something.
Hey, give him a few.
Second row Joe.
Yeah, well,
But she's not gonna win nothing this year.
Huh?
You ready to scrap?
What? What did y'all and Jock say? Good. We'll say 2000s Young Jock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
as I'm speaking, I'll go.
Yep.
Like,
I'll keep it short and brief. What I'm playing on games about is over the years, I've been really trying to separate podcasts, relationship show, other stuff, mental health professional stuff that I do on the side, right? There's a reason why I've created a name, and I was going by Cartier Bob because one of my good friends gave me that, and I liked it. So I am, after today, making a switch. As you heard in the intro, I didn't say Bob, I said Rob. So if you listen to the last episode, one of my good friends, Scooter Rogers, was like, Cartier Rob sounds better. And I said, I like that. So I'm switching my name because y'all have been disrespectful as fuck.
Salvation.
And I actually like Cartier Rob better.
Yeah, but like, I get like the name term, but it's like
the Bob is
You
not
can
is
do
going it
background.
away.
I've never called him that name
Yeah.
in the history of the show.
They did.
It was always Rob. Bleep this out. Dare I say his full name?
Hey, make more work for me. Thank you.
oh, that's why I met him as. So like,
Yeah.
I'm,
So at least this way, I can just call you Rob. So thank you.
Put the C in front of it. The F stands for finisher. The C stands for clutch.
For clutch.
Who's the F? Wait, what?
Wait, what? Let's see.
I'll just quote a Weezy F Baby. Anywho, that's not here or there. Y'all are just dry hitting on the low. This side of the couch is horrible, people.
Not at all.
Please,
But
please.
we're gonna pass it to Miko though.
All right,
You won't BS
so
right now.
I'm so dead. So pretty much it's something I don't play about, right?
Yeah.
Right now, and where I am, honestly, I would say like my health and like just like making sure like we're in the gym and I slacked off a lot, not prioritizing myself, of course. So I just told myself like I'm not playing no more games. Like I'm gonna be in that gym. Even if I'm like so dead tired from work, like I'm just gonna have to be in that gym. But there's like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, so yeah, just not playing no games about that. Kind of holding myself accountable.
Word.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Sorry, I got so deep.
You good, you good.
Okay.
I like that mindset.
Yeah.
And something's better than nothing. At the end of the
Right,
day,
right.
When it comes to your health.
I actually think a lot of people don't understand that because they have this idea that the gym, you have to be there. I got to be there an hour. But like,
Nah.
if you can just get in a solid 20, 30 minutes, get
Yeah.
that break of sweat right
A
there.
little
you're
bit. You're good.
good.
You're good.
3 times out of a week.
You know.
But just to transition out that a little bit, I know earlier you spoke about your journey as far as like coming to America.
Yep.
Not gonna dive too deep into it, but
Okay.
can I ask you, what age was it where you were at the point where like, okay, hair is something I actually want to do, and was that something that started prior to or when you came to Portland?
Absolutely. Definitely when I came to the U.S. is when I realized, I grew up getting my hair braided in a salon or like my cousins. I grew up around my cousins. So moving to the U.S. and like I have a lot of sisters. None of them know how to do hair at all. And so I just kind of like naturally picked up on it where I was just watching a lot of YouTube videos. I realized I was kind of like my interest was just more like beauty and like all this stuff just kind of naturally came to me like around like 11, I would say. And I remember my sister like pressed out my hair, and I was like, whoa, like this is so cool. Like we didn't even have flat irons back home. We had hot combs, you know? So like that was just so cool to me, and I just was super like intrigued by it really young. And yeah, like I think I was 11 when I got into doing hair.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then what like was that transition like? So were you like just practicing on your sister's hair, or was it like picking up doing it on friends? Because I know like Terrence, both of our friends.
Yep.
And for him growing up, like one, he had family members that that were barbers rather, and then he would practice on like Coop's hair and vice versa. So like, what was that like for you growing up?
Yeah, absolutely. Like it was kind of dope to just have like a lot of sisters. I have 5 of them, so growing up, it was just kind of like once they realized like I can actually do hair, it was like, oh, okay, give me a little curl, give me a little whatever. And I have a younger sister. She's 18 now, but at the time, I would just look up like YouTube videos again and like look up, you know, braid styles or whatever the case is. And if I wanted to try it, I'd be like, hey, let me just play with your hair, you know. And I remember, like, when I got to, like, close to high school, being hired to do a wedding. And I was like, I don't even have my license. And people would just kind of trusted me. They were like, okay, I think you know what you're doing with hair. So just honestly, like, having people around me that just trusted me to do their hair, I just did it.
That's crazy.
And I would do it for free. I charged, like, $25 at the time, you know.
You did a whole wedding for $25?
I did a wedding.
$25 for a wedding?
Yep, I did a wedding, and it was like one of my cousin's wedding. And yeah, I charged everyone like $25, $45. So it worked out. It worked out for them.
How long of a day was that for you?
Wait, sorry.
How long of a day was that as far as doing all their hair?
Pretty much the whole day. Yeah, like we woke up really early. It was an African wedding, so you have to wake up like at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 I've been there too.
Yeah, you know. So everybody, even wasn't on the list, kept coming, and I was like, okay, I can do you too. So it just, again, it was such a passion of mine, so young, that I just did anyone's hair. Yeah.
So you didn't give a wedding gift, right?
No wedding gifts.
Okay, there we
I
go.
know.
I was going to how generous are you?
No wedding gifts. Nope.
So I can still get the family fee if I need it, right?
Maybe. It may not apply now, but back then it did. Now we're just a little bit more strict. Our policies have changed.
Operations.
So, yep, we got operations.
Operations.
Exactly.
So moving forward, as you get like out of high school, what was that first step in as far as like your process and saying like, okay, I can legitimately do this as a career?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember like looking back at that time now for me, coming from like a very strict family, like my parents were not playing no games. They was like, you're going to college, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a nurse, or whatever the case is, right? And I remember just like telling my sister, like, I don't really have a passion for being a lawyer or a nurse. And so I was like, I think I want to go to beauty school. And at that time, like, mom didn't know nothing about beauty school. I didn't know anything about beauty school. So I just kind of like did my own research, and I presented to my mom. And my mom was like, are you sure? Like, she still has kind of like the old back in the day mentality at that time. So she was like, this is not a career. And I remember just being like, just have faith in yourself, and like, I just knew that was kind of like where I wanted to go. And I told myself, maybe if I, pursued what I loved, then I'll find success in it. No matter what. I think that's kind of what a lot of people need within themselves, is to just kind of realize, hey, if this what works for me, I'm gonna just go do it with faith and just believe in myself. So that's what I did. After high school, I went straight into beauty school right away. Took a full program and graduated early because I was moving real fast. And yeah, after that,
Did you work under anyone at the time, or after beauty school?
Oh yeah. So Taryn, a good friend of ours, his aunt owns a salon.
Okay.
So I had a client in beauty school, and I was kind of telling them like, hey, I really don't know where to go. And after beauty school, sometimes they would like pressure you to go to like supercuts and like you
Supercuts?
is this called supercuts?
No, it is. But I'm just like, that's
Why would
crazy.
you get super
So people be like, you get these continuous education. So when they were kind of pressing that on me, I was like, no, I think I want to go to like an actual salon where, like I was specializing in ethnic hair. Also, like I realized color and stuff back then wasn't really my niche yet. So I just was like, no, I need to find a salon, like, a real dope salon. So when I found my client, they introduced me to Joy was her name. She was the owner of J. Rose. I worked there for 5 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was like the best shop ever. Nice. Yeah, I learned so much, met some really dope people there. They're still real cool with me, and even when I moved, they were real sad. I was the youngest in there. I was 19 at the time. So, yeah, it was tough, but definitely had to transition.
No, it's awesome. And
okay.
Would you say you kind of recommend that path for most people kind of looking to get into,
100%.
let's say, styling, barbers, those type, start at a shop until you build your own?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I 100% will suggest that. Honestly, like, I've met a lot of younger girls getting out of beauty school. And even for me, like, I have my own suite now, and I was looking into an assistant. And just talking to those younger girls, I realized everyone is really ready to just kind of hop on and do their own thing, which is dope. There's nothing wrong with that. But you will learn so much in a bigger salon environment that these are the things that you probably don't come across when working on your own. Like just business stuff, right? Like financials, products, inventory, how to deal with, complicating clients. Things like that are what I've learned in working in a salon environment that I took on when I, expanded to open my own. So definitely 100% I recommend it to people getting out of beauty school, work in a salon. Yes. It's kind of like one of those things where if you're growing a tree, right, there's the root. And so if you keep watering it, it grows, right? So the way I kind of looked at the salon that I worked at was kind of like the root to my career. So it was like everything they taught me, I was growing. Yes. It was like I was constantly growing and I was getting so excited. And I remember I told the owner, oh, yeah, no, I'm only going to be here for a year and I'm going to open my own salon. And he looked at me, he said, I need to talk to you for a little bit. That's not how business works. And, he taught me a little bit about owning a salon and just like that business side. So immediately I just was like, okay, I got to think business. I got to think like in that mindset, not just an entrepreneur, not just a hairstylist. I got to, kind of shift my direction.
And I love that you bring that up because I think especially in today's world with social media, but also just stuff you see around you.
Absolutely.
People are so infatuated with like the end result.
Yes.
And like, let's say like the rosebud. Exactly. But no one thinks about like the roots and how that plant is supposed to grow up. They just want to essentially skip the race to the end.
Yes.
Everybody wants instant gratification.
Yeah. And it's nice. I see it all the time. It's beautiful to see on social media and stuff, but a lot of those things are just for a show. You know what I mean? Like, we'll talk about that later, but I don't want to get too deep, but I can keep on going. There's just so much that I could say that I know that looking back to, just like my path, I'm like so proud of the way I did it. Like, there's just no regrets in the way I did it. And it's taught me so much along the way. And again, just like shifting your mindset of like, hey, I'm a business owner. I'm not just a hairstylist. Yeah. So those are the things that I would love to just kind of pour into the younger girls getting out of beauty school. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome.
Looked like you was about to jump in there.
Oh, no. Only thing I was going to say is I think Cost did it perfectly where like it transfers even the field you're in because the field I'm in, like I'm in a group practice. I'm with other, mental health professionals and you do get a lot of bread being on your own, but like the things you get from being in a group, you affect the community differently. And Costa said it perfectly. That's all I'm going to back away where it's like, I think the individualism sometimes hurts the community where you want to be the person, the man, the woman. And when we come together, we can build so many beautiful things.
So many.
So that was just all.
I love that. That's great.
What would you say has been the biggest challenges and I guess pleasant surprises as far as making that transition from a salon to then going to your own studio and not necessarily having the security of traffic flow of somebody saying, "Oh, hey, can anybody take me?" Like, what was that like for you?
That part. Yeah. So I want to go back a little bit. Where when I first started working at the salon, I was a commission worker. So I earned 60%, and they took 40%. So and I remember being like, "Dang, like I'm not really making no money," and so I had to transition to being an independent contractor. And that means you're kind of all on your own, meaning products, client. Well, they will still bring you clients, but you still built up your own client base. And so for me, I remember transitioning into that and being like, okay, now I got to learn how to manage my own money. And I got to have a great strategy as far as how do I go about bookings? How do I maintain these client base so then that way they're just a loyal client that keep on coming back. So I already kind of had that moving into my own space, which helped so much. So all I had to do was just kind of be very smart with my money, be really smart with my target audience. Who am I targeting? And what else do I want to, what areas do I want to shift into other than just being behind the chair? So it's like, do I want to go into the photo shoot, the music industry, or whatever the case was? I just always sat down with myself and I went over to my vision, my vision board, but also more so my business plan. And I kind of just, I'll take notes and I'll do a little checklist of okay, I got to do this now. I got to get this. I got to get that. So just being honest with myself and things like that is kind of these are the little things that I just made changes.
Word.
Yeah.
And then
if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
Okay.
Yeah. And then as far as the day-to-day when you're doing hair, I know at least for a man when I go to the barber, it's kind of a therapeutic experience.
Yes.
I guess I would say I have a unique experience just because my barber is one of my closest friends, so it's just a time for us to kick it or whatever.
Yes.
But do you develop pretty close relationships with your clients, and then also how do you make that distinction of okay, maybe I don't want to blur the lines between friendship and you just being a client per se?
Professional.
Yeah,
absolutely. And honestly, again, I have tons of clients that are returning clients from for 9 years now, or 4 years, or 5 years.
Damn.
So yeah, I have really good relationship with my clients. And honestly, they are my friends. They may not be my day-to-day friends where I text and call, but it's when they come into my shop, it's a safe space for them, and also a safe space for me too. And I always make sure that when I clock in, I leave all of my problems behind at the door. And when I come in, it's all about them. So, just giving them that reassurance of whatever is shared in this room stays between us. One, I think it's super important. Staying super professional. I always make sure I don't text my clients and say, "Hey boo," "Hey girl." Yeah. No, I call them by their name, and just making sure that I approach them in a way where it's just super professional, and they also give me the respect back that I give them. And I think that's been super dope to me. Sometimes I look back and be like, dang, I have really genuine dope clients, and they truly love me and I truly love them. And there's just that bond is different.
Real.
Yeah.
What's crazy as you were speaking on that, it made me think about how many connections exist between you two's line of work. No, for real, because even when I'm sitting in the barber chair, I may vent to Taryn about bro, such and such going on. So is it hard taking on other people's energy all day at all?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. It just depends on the situation, of course. I worry. That's something I got from my mom, is I'm just such a big worry. I worry a lot about people. So if you mean a lot to me, you're telling me some things that you're going through. Yeah, I do go home to it. I pray for them. I do think about them a lot. So when I check in, like, hey, how you doing? How's that situation? You know, how's that been? But sometimes I do know how to turn it off, you know, and sometimes I'm venting to the people around me, whether it's like my mom or my sisters or my boyfriend. I'm always venting to them, and I can see it can be a problem sometimes. So I'm like, okay, I got to turn off that switch and be, you know, kind of go back to my regular life and not, you know, bring it home sometimes. So it just depends on the situation, I think, for me. But again, I'm so passionate about everything I do and the people around me that it's hard. It's really hard to not worry.
So one of the things I kind of like really talk about, because of like help like bridge some of that gap too, is I call it, in we can say maybe say in the therapy world, it could be vicarious trauma, or what I call is compassion fatigue, where when people are seeing you once a week or every other week, they don't know the gap between like what you're doing. So like when I like sit with my own barber, like sometimes I'm like, you're like a hood therapist. So I know what you deal with when we kind of like talk about like, because I can only imagine, you know, you doing someone's hair, like, man, my boyfriend is cheating on me with my cousin's uncle. You're like, damn, I'm just trying to do a braid.
Yeah.
What would you do? You're like, not being that. It's like, and I think for me, and I guess I'm just curious to kind of keep your question like flow. Is like, for me, it's like I take in that energy and then like I move it like the ocean. Where like I think the biggest respectful thing I do for my clients is putting and leaving that business at work, because if I take it home with me, it's disrespectful, because I don't believe that you'll get through this. Now, I know it's different context because they're like asking me about life and in general, but when we're talking about hair and we're talking about just having that safe space, it's kind of like the lines are kind of like blurred.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. And honestly, like you said, like I'm like a therapist.
Oh, you are.
Like they tell me anything, and I always feel like the advice that I give, and I'm only 28, but I swear, I don't know what it is, but I sound like a grown old lady. Like I can give advice like no other. So I think because of that too, it's like once I give that advice or whatever the case is, I try to like kind of go back to like regular conversation, right? And I don't like let that linger on throughout the whole appointment, because I'm like, okay, girl, I'm tired, and
settle the tension a little bit.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, let's talk about something else. So yeah.
You ever have a Jay-Z Beyonce?
Yeah. So kind of shifting the gears to like different conversations have definitely helped.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious. So we're talking about some good clients here.
Yes.
I'd love to know, you know, and I'm sure because you work with specific people, you probably have to do one-off jobs here and there. So I'm sure you've maybe dealt with some difficult clientele. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with a client, let's say, that's being a little more difficult?
Good question. And honestly, like look back then, like when I first started, I didn't know how to deal with that. I'm an introvert at heart, but also I can be extroverted if people are, you know, talking to me, and I can feel comfortable around you. And if people like text me crazy, or just we have a disagreement or whatever, I'm just go quiet. I don't really have a lot to say. And I think back then I didn't know how to build boundaries with people, and I didn't know how to say like no with people. So it was really hard at the time, but now look where I'm at now. It's like, okay, it's different, because it's like you built that boundary with people, and also there's that respect level also. So I never really run into difficult clients anymore. But back then I did, because I was just such a yes person. I didn't know, I never wanted to disappoint people. Or, you know, if there's a frustrated client, it's not fun. Like they're gonna be in there fussing. So I never wanted to have people leave out of there unsatisfied. Every client that leaves my chair now leaves satisfied. Never been unsatisfied. Like never. And I can't really think like no. So again, it's just boundaries. I've learned to set boundaries, and I've been kind of just straightforward with, again, policies and stuff like that. So I never really run into problems. Yeah.
Would you say, whether it be with client relations or anything, as far as styling or anything like that, how much has the game changed since you first got into it versus
Oh, man.
2024?
Man. We in this bag is all I gotta say. But it's changed. It's changed so much. Like I always go back to like how much I used to charge and how much cheaper things used to be back then versus now. It's kind of crazy, and I always feel bad about going up on my prices. But it's inflation, you know what I'm saying? But also one thing I always tell myself is customer service, one, it's key for me. If you're gonna come in, you're gonna get an A+ service, one. And two, there's just quality into the things that I service now that I was like, I'm guarantee you quality service, whether it's your hair extensions that you're purchasing, whatever the case is. And also like creating that atmosphere and space of like when women come into a space, they want to feel pampered. They want a space to be like aesthetically pleasing. So it's like, I just, it's like if I'm gonna be your service provider, this is the stuff that I'm gonna do for you. So it's like any person that sits in my chair, they're gonna get it all. They're not just gonna come in and be like, damn, that was a waste of money. So I never want anyone to feel like that. So because of that, honestly, it's been good. And yeah.
So no one's threatened like I'm gonna leave you a bad review or like they ran out of the chair. None of that.
There's been like one situation. I prayed about it and I kind of let it go. I don't know if you know, but I don't really take new clients like that anymore.
Yeah.
So books are closed. I know the girls are mad. I know they're so
you
mad.
traveling everywhere now, so I get it.
It's just, like, hey, I'm blessed. I can never complain. Being able to build that client base has really played such a huge, I'm never going to complain. But there's been a time where sometimes I'll take in new clients here and there. I have a new client request form. They fill it out. I'll review it and then I'll accept it or deny it. So there's a particular girl and super, super, super dope. Not going to go too deep in it, but come to realize the day of after the service was done, she paid with a stolen credit card. And so I didn't know. And so, because, it went through just fine. So later on, I was getting calls from the owner and they kind of filled me in on what happened.
Oh.
She worked for them. So, yeah, that was a really crazy situation that ever happened to me. And I'm like, dang, like, it sucks that she had to do that, but it's like, it just sucks. So
how do you handle that? Like, I'm gonna guess that
business wise, they reported it.
Fraud, so like,
yeah, so
the bank probably charged you the back.
Yep. So it was disputed. Never got my money. And it was such a really big service. Like I think her bill was like, $350, and on top of that, she tipped me. Like, thanks, girl.
Thanks.
But like, no thanks.
Hold on. Can we break this down? So like, when you say $350, like, how long is that hair lasting her?
It was a color service. So
okay,
that's on for a minute.
I'm completely ignorant. So like, I need you to break that down on weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's probably gonna last her, if she keeps up with it. It can last her up to 6 months.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Yeah.
So you mean keeping up with it? It's like
just making sure she uses the right shampoo, right? Like this doesn't fade her color.
I did too.
Things like that. Yeah, things like that. It's like it would last her long. So, but when you're looking at other services, it just depends what you're receiving. It may not last that long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how. All right, so like when I was younger, I used to always hear like my mom or like other people talk about like these crazy prices for like getting hair done, and like back in the day, bro, like we used to be able to get a haircut for like 15 a dub. Now, them days long. Like
things have changed, but again, it's like if you're going to your barber, you know you're gonna leave out of there fly.
Yeah.
You know he's not gonna do wrong.
For sure.
So it's like when my clients come in, they're not worried about how much they have to pay because it's like, oh, I'm leaving here with something.
Yeah. Now, was it like a spike?
So
in,
they're cool.
not to cut you off, but like, was it a spike in like product costs or
Yes.
was okay? I was
100%.
I was like, was it that or like during like the pandemic? Did y'all all have to sit down at some
No.
conference like, all right, we're going up?
Oh no.
These niggas up.
Nope. It feels like prices are always going up, whether it's on our products, our inventory. Again, I own my own hair collection, and those things are not cheap. They go up crazy. So it's kind of one of those things. Again, I'm going back to being a business owner. I always got to think businessly, right? So it's like, am I going to be able to profit off of this, right? And I'm putting long hours. I'm on my feet a lot. So it's like, if I'm going to put in, let's say, 9 hours, right? Am I going to leave out of here with profiting something? So it's like you charge based on, again, your hours, how long that service takes you, the products that you need for that service. So yes, it's a lot that can go into it, honestly. And yeah, that's kind of how I priced myself up for sure. Yeah.
Okay. I have like a couple questions, but one of my questions really is like kind of in the flow of our conversation. And it is, a lot of people don't understand what it takes to do my job and like behind the scenes. I'm just curious, like what is not a known or popular size like hurdle that you deal with in your business and your line of like work?
For me, I'm not just a hairstylist. I'm always creating content. It's like once I lock in and the appointment starts, I'm doing a million things at once. And it's like, dang, I'm a photographer, I'm a therapist, I am a content creator, and I am, doing all of these things in one service. So it's like there's just so many things that I'm always juggling and having to do. Even when I get home, I'm still working, whether it's on my branding, whether it's on my marketing, or just things like that, partnerships, brand deals. Like I'm always working. So when it comes to like my day-to-day life, it's busy. Like I'm working always. It sucks, but I love it at the same time. Yeah, honestly.
Okay. So it's that work-life balance, like trying to have like that authentically.
Yes. Definitely work and balancing. Honestly, something one of my uncle actually taught me, and he asked me, and he said, "What does success mean to you?" And I was like, "Well, I want to be rich, of course. Like once you have a lot of money, you could do anything. You're successful." He was like, "Nah, like you need to go back on the drawing board." And he kind of taught me this thing where he like drew a circle and he wrote down like family, religion, your business, and it was like friends or something. And he was like, if you can balance all of these things every day, he was like, you're successful. It does not mean you have to be rich to be successful. It does not mean you have to have a lot of money to be successful, but mentally, physically, emotionally play such a huge role in being successful. And so once he taught me that, goes back to like my everyday life. It's like I make sure that I'm doing everything and pouring myself into those small little boxes. So then that way, when I'm done with my day, I'm satisfied. I'm like, okay, I got it all done. Things like that. So, yeah. Sorry, I kind of got carried away. Got carried away. Yep. So, yeah.
So that kind of just funnels into just like my next question, where is, some guys fumble the bag, when the lady gets the hair done, and then she's like, how's it look? And he's like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, I don't say like the mental health, but just like the connection with just women and black women with like their hair. What do people really not truly understand how important it is for them to view their hair and how it's done?
Yeah, 100%. And I hear this all the time where when my clients sit on my chair, you can already sense they're not real confident and they're just complaining about X, Y, and Z. And as soon as I'm done, I swear there's this switch of like confidence. And they're just like, oh my God, girl, yes. And they're feeling themselves. They want me to take pictures. They come picture ready. Okay. So it's like there's just that boost of like confidence. And a lot of people don't really understand that like hair plays such a huge role when it comes to a woman's confidence. And so it's like once you get your hair done, oh, you want to be seen. I want to be seen. I want to be outside. I feel good. I look good. So yeah, I feel good. I look good. That's
Yeah.
really it for women when it comes to their hair, and it's personal, right? Like I got to do this for me. And I hear that all the time. It's like, Miko, I got to come in here and see you more often because I need this for me. It's like it's such a personal thing for them. And I'm sure even males can talk about that too. Like I've had a couple male clients that they don't play about their hair. Okay, their braids mean a lot to them. Their haircut mean a lot to them. So it's like I don't know. It's such a beautiful thing to see for me because I'm like, okay, I did my job. Like they look so happy, they look so good, and they get compliments all the time. They're like, Miko, I was just at the grocery store, and this lady stopped me and said, your hair, da, da, da. So it's like these compliments, they love it, and that's what every woman should have and be able to feel is that boost of confidence when it comes to the way they look, their appearance.
100%.
Yeah.
I think it goes along with for men as well.
Yeah.
It's also why,
It's like y'all makeup.
Sounds like
Haircut is like the makeup,
They are putting on makeup now.
Now we're seeing a lot of guys
Paint their beards.
Not paint their
but also, like,
beards.
you're seeing hairline tattoos.
Mhm.
You're seeing
Oh, yeah.
PKs more
Yeah,
common.
yeah.
You're seeing a lot of turkey vacations.
Yes,
You
yes.
know?
And ain't no
I'm not the only
shame.
one on social seeing that.
No
but
shame
turkey,
into
like,
that, okay? No shame.
No
Look,
shame.
you gotta
I
do
think
it.
maybe 5 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. People
Yeah.
were like, what are you doing? Just,
Yeah.
be a man, go
Yeah.
bald, whatever.
Yeah.
But now you're seeing like everyone go to Turkey.
So men
Nah,
units
it's
are
become-
okay with you?
Huh?
Men units?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do them.
Bro, I think the
Do
craziest.
them.
Right.
I don't do them, but like I'll do them. Like if somebody wants to request it, hey.
I think the craziest
Shoot,
instance I
I'll
ever
do
had.
it.
I was in a club in LA one time, and a dude's man unit starts
Sliding
sliding.
down.
Oh man.
I thought I was like, hold up, wait, is
Oh,
he just sweating
no.
hard? And then like later in the night, like 30 minutes later, bro, like it was going crazy.
It's the glue. The
Oh,
glue's not
okay.
supposed to be it's not water resistant
Yeah.
or sweat resistant. So if you're sweating, go in the pool, it will completely come off.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard some new ones you can actually shower with it on and like.
You
swim
know
with
what?
it.
They are making glues like that. You're right.
Yeah.
I do hear that a
The
lot.
only issue now is like when your OG hair starts to grow. Is
Yeah.
that when you have to get it replaced?
You have to get it
Yeah,
replaced.
no, I have seen somewhere or heard somewhere rather where you can shower and stuff like that. But even after like I think
It's like 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 2 weeks. But I've seen them like swim in them and all this stuff. It's we're getting
Yeah.
to a crazy world, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Crazy world.
it's a crazy world.
Lot
Some will
going-
all have bicep implants too, and
Bro,
Yeah.
did y'all see? I can't remember who it was. It was somebody on I think it was Instagram. Dude got like some abs installed.
But he was still a little chubby.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I saw that. I was like,
Yeah.
dang.
But no, just transition back a little bit. I know you opened up saying that you are a celebrity stylist.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go into details of who you've serviced before, but what was that first? I don't know if it was a phone call you got or
Mhm.
a DM on Instagram. What was that like?
Mhm.
And the overall experience as far as I don't know if you had to travel to them or if it was here in the city.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my first celebrity client was a really big client, and I remember like a couple weeks before I received an email, I was just kind of like manifesting. I was like, it'd be so dope if I was like a traveling celebrity artist. Like I just was like bullshitting at the gym to my old trainer, and I remember telling him like, this is really what I want to do. Like I want to really transition into doing more gigs, and I want to get Yeah, like I wanted to do music videos. I wanted to do photo shoots. I wanted to travel. And it was just so crazy. I just was really saying that jokingly, and we were just joking about it. And then like 2 weeks later, I received an email, and it was like right after the pandemic. So it's like we had this rough time of like not working,
Yeah.
and it was like really hard to even just like mentally it was just a lot for a lot of people. Even for me, like I'll talk about that where I'm just was not in a great headspace. So I received this email and immediately I go to my boyfriend. I'm like, babe, this gotta be a scam. And he was like, I always go to him for everything, whether it's an art, like if there's an art, celebrity artist, anyone that messages me, if I don't know them, I always ask. And he was like, no, this is legit. And I was like, oh, dang, that's cool. So it was big for me and it did change. I would say it did change a lot of things for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whether it was social media, social media is such a great platform for people that are on a come up low key.
Sure.
People was hyping me up. People were really rooting for me. People were so kind. They left me really nice messages after that. Things just kind of grew after that. It was like if I don't know if it was like word of mouth or just social media played such a huge role in it. But after that, I would say I've received a lot of client base in that department, and it was cool. Yeah.
Was it overwhelming at all, like being around
100%.
people of quote unquote status?
Yeah, it was. And I remember like I'm not really like I don't girlfriend or like be super like, oh my god, I love this person. Like I'm not like that other than Rihanna. So if I meet Rihanna, I might faint. But other than that, like I don't really like I'm not crazy about anybody like that. So and I remember just being in that room of being like, damn, like I kind of felt like out of place, and I couldn't really connect. I was just super shy but people were just super cool and that like behind the scene work is so dope and people are actually like working. I remember we worked from 4 p.m. until 6 a.m. Like people were working.
Huh?
Yeah. Like the production team is huge. They like put some work in, okay? So and I remember being like, dang, like this is dope. Like, can I really do this every day? Or do I want to do this? But it was humbling. And then also like I met a lot of people.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people that were like, hey, I love your work. Like I'm gonna shoot your info to X, Y, and Z. So it was kind of cool to know that people are so really dope out here. And yeah, I definitely feel like they've had my back.
And sorry, that's a really long day. Was that like a photo shoot?
It was a music video, yeah.
Okay,
Yep, it was a music video that went on for 2 days. We shot for 2 days from, again, 4 to 6 a.m. And it was tough. It was tough.
Could we speak a little bit more to that music video if possible? Obviously,
I mean, I feel like a lot of people know now, but yeah, it was the Laugh Now, Cry Later music video. So that was one of my first gig, my first ever gig. Again, such a big gig for it to be my first one. I didn't even know how to go about anything. I was like, how do you even respond to this email? And like, I didn't have a manager back then, so it was big for me.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know that was your first one.
Yeah.
If I got that email for sure with us, somebody was trolling me. Or
I was like, who is this? Oh yeah, so definitely.
I know this is probably on all your clients' mind when like you have that, like it's in your bio. You're traveling working with celebrities.
Yep.
Is there any difference from when you work with a celebrity versus when you work with a local client?
When you say local client, as far as like
regulars, yeah,
my regular clients, yes, because of like the hours, right? Like the amount of work you're putting in, and then also like if it's like a big gig where there's like multiple models, let's say like I'm on a photo shoot or something, it's a long day. Like you're in there, you're doing touch-ups, you're walking around, like you're not sitting down. You're like on your feet a lot. And versus like on a one-on-one, it's like 3 hours. I just got to put in 3 hours with you and you leave. Personality wise, yes, also. Personality wise, I definitely think that I would say like this quote unquote the celebrities, they are kind of mean. They could be a little mean, they could be a little straightforward. I want my hair like this, and if it's not done right, there might be some issues. So yeah, so it's kind of like they, it's like if I'm gonna pay you for this X amount of time, like it can be a little rude. But like for me, I just kind of keep it cool, calm. I don't overshare. I'm really quiet, and then it's like if they start talking, and then we can kind of feel a vibe, and if the vibe is cool, then you could be a little close. And honestly, like I still to this day have some celebrity clients that still like continuously reach out, like, "Hey, are you gonna be in Miami? Are you gonna be in LA? 'Cause I need you for this. I need you for that." So it's like I need to build those relationships because I want to continue to do these type of work. So again, just be professional. I think like just don't get too personal, don't overshare, don't think they're your friend. Nobody's your friend in that life. So it's like, hey, just remain yourself. Don't ever feel like you have to not be yourself around certain people. They're people at the end of the day, and that's what they actually want, is for you to treat them like regulars. So that's what I do. It has been working out. So
with that in mind,
yeah.
and it's not to knock my own city. I love Portland, but
Yes.
have you ever had? Bro,
Who hates Portland?
Nah,
Just kidding.
but have you ever had any thoughts as far as like moving, just to be in the midst a little bit more, as far as that? Saying tier of clientele feels weird. But you get my drift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I feel like if I answer this wrong, my clients are gonna comfort me. They might be at the door waiting.
Riding.
Okay, my clients here, they ride for me, and I don't ever think I'm ever gonna leave them, because there's just this peace and happiness of like, again, I'm getting this like warmth and chillness talking about it. Like I really genuinely love my clients, and so I don't see myself moving anytime soon. But if a time come and I gotta be somewhere, it's like, things might change. Like I'm not married, I don't have kids. If things change, if that is on the table for me, yeah, I would definitely move.
Now, hypothetically speaking, right now, if you were to,
I know you was gonna ask where.
which city?
Oh God.
Oh, here you go.
Oh God, this is so hard. It's so hard. I've worked in a couple places like LA, Miami, London.
Really?
That was kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really cool. If I was to really like move and like still work and live, oh my gosh, so hard. But like it might have to be either Atlanta. Oh God, this is hard.
Watch your car.
It's hard. You feel me? Like there's just little things. Like I would think about Miami because I love the air. I love the da da da. But then it's like, it's just too hot all the time. It's expensive. I think, yeah, dirty. Like New York.
Dirty here.
Like
okay. Shockingly dirty. That's all.
There's just so many. There's so many places I would love to live, but I don't know. Like it's so hard for me to say right now.
I get that.
It would have to be a certain situation for me to have to move to this place. I think. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, sorry, Ty. You have to sell me out to these clients.
Yeah, nah. Put myself in somebody else's shoes, but if I'm a younger person and I'm looking at getting into the game, what words of advice would you give me?
I love this. Man, and I'll go back to earlier what I said. It all starts within yourself. Like talk to yourself. Sit down with yourself and say, like, what do I really want to do? Like if I am going to get into this career path, right? Like have a plan, and also like don't lose track. Don't lose yourself in it either. And just kind of have this like, I would say like just find who you are first, and whatever you decide to do it all. Do it all like 100% in it. Like, don't do half-ass. Don't half-ass nothing. Do it and give it your 100%, because you'd be so surprised with how far you get once you do that. And so, like, to even like looking back to my younger self, like, I wish I told myself, like, don't care about what anybody has to say. And whatever you decide to do, or the direction you're going and how you run your business, do it in the way you want to do it, because that's what makes you, and that's, you stand out better that way. And I feel like even for me, like, I had to find my own identity and be like, okay, everyone does hair, but like, like, how am I different than like every other person doing hair, right? So it's like, for me, it was super personal, where I was like, I have to find who I am and what I liked and just stick to it. Don't lose track by looking at other people's stuff. Don't be like, oh, I wish I could be like so and so. No, do it your way. And yeah, and you'd be surprised.
Stope, I love that.
Yeah.
Unless you got another question.
I have more of a fun one.
Oh, yay. Let's get to the fun.
Like some hot fire. Like,
Like this or that.
Okay, go ahead.
In the next couple years, in the world of hairstyling, what's the trend you think that's going to be really hot? What do you see right now, like in the early stage, where like I think that could blow up?
I think people are bringing back that old school hairstyles, and like I saw a girl rocking the mullet the other day, and I was like, what? Like, that's what we doing? So I think people are really gonna transition into like the old school look and like the vintage vibe, but then like make it all a little spicy though. A little, throw in a little color, or a little something like that. I feel like that might be it. Yeah.
I see it on the men's side. The mullets fully come back on the men's side.
Yeah.
What needs to stop?
What
style needs to stop?
Okay, let's see. What needs to stop? Oh, this is so hard.
While you're thinking, I'm going to say it. There are certain hairstyles.
Shag cut.
There are certain hairstyles that work for certain people.
Yeah.
And if you see it work on Rihanna, it may not
work for
on
you.
So,
just leave it alone.
Like when you was younger, we the same age, so what would we have been? Like maybe 11, 12 years old when Cassie shaved the side of her head.
Oh, yes.
Would you have ever considered? I know, obviously, like we were
God,
young, so like it wasn't really in our control. But would you?
I forgot
even
that
done
look.
That?
Would I done that?
Yeah.
On myself?
So if you were grown, yeah.
No.
Okay.
Right. Absolutely not. So yeah, I definitely think people do like go for what's trending, right? Or what celebrities are doing 100%. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're inspired. I get it. But no, let's leave it alone. Like, it's not for everyone. You're right. Like, you just have to make sure that is this a look that I'm going to pull off, and talk to your people, because people are going to be for real with you and be like, no, don't do it. Yeah.
So what celebrity needs to redo it?
What celebrity?
What celebrity, like, some people have been ragging on, what's her name? Ice Spice, her hair.
You know what? I've come to really love how Ice Spice wears her hair. Okay. Because it's like she's letting them curls like pop, and I get it. It's her. And it's like, I think people kind of find it weird because it's like in that afro look, and it's like, girl, we're in 2020, 24. Like, what do you do with the afro? But I think it's so cute. And I love that she switches it up. Sometimes she wear like her straight, but like still keeps it the same color. And I think that's super cool.
And it's so crazy how people do get on her head for that. Because like if she had 22-inch bust down, like nobody
was saying that.
Yeah, nobody was saying that. But if she rocking her hair.
Yeah.
All right, but off of hair a little bit, I gotta ask, because I know you traveled there a decent amount.
Yeah.
All right, Seattle or Portland?
Seattle, Portland. Oh my goodness, I love Seattle.
You saw what?
I love Seattle.
Oh.
Just kidding. Okay, no. I would say this. Seattle for like more like the the nightlife for sure. Like, I love that. It gives me like a little LA vibe sometimes. But Portland, because of the nature And like
Nice.
I love all the different seasons that we get, like the rain, the snow. It don't matter. It don't bother me. I actually really like it. So for those little certain things, definitely Portland for sure. The food, Portland,
I
100%.
100% agree.
Yeah.
And people like try to say they're sister or twin cities. Like,
Cousins.
yeah, like
Cousins
I can
close.
somewhat see the
Cousins.
close vibe, but like they also
Cousins.
like
If you're 3
Step-
hours away, you're not
Step
that
cousins.
close.
It's
vibe,
giving
vibe.
step cousins.
As far as like the
That
night,
cousin.
yeah, no, for sure. As far as the nightlife scene, I don't know, like I have a good time when I go out to Seattle. It's just like when I'm lit, walking up them hills sometimes.
Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
No, you gotta choose wisely where you turning up for sure.
All right, I know you're a Rihanna fan too, so I gotta
Yes.
ask you this:
If I,
you
I'm gonna mark my words. I'm gonna do Rihanna's hair one day. Just kidding.
Hey, no, we gonna manifest it.
No. Stand on that.
After she dropped this third baby, yeah,
The third baby,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, yeah, Rocky.
I love her so much.
Rocky gotta get. Hey,
Yes.
I can't blame him, but
Only thing keeping him out of prison.
Mm.
Damn.
Well, it is.
Dropping that bar right there.
It
Damn.
is.
that was
Damn.
crazy.
He's cleaned up his act. You and Rihanna.
Yeah.
We get it right.
Of course, you know she don't
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But stranded on the island, you can only listen to one of these albums: Anti or Good Girl Gone Bad.
Your girl gone bad.
Mm.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh no.
like needed me. Like that's like low-key my favorite Rihanna joint.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I think it's like the mustard production, and she doesn't normally like sing on that type of like sound wave.
You
I
play it
just
on a hard day.
miss all the new stuff she used to always make. Like that, like even when she was like so into her like culture and stuff, that was so dope to me. I love that for her. Like
I'm talking about before Jay rebranded her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part.
You're wild.
I mean,
You're
did.
wild.
all of a sudden she
Shut up
had
and
an
drive.
accent, and all of a sudden
But
I
then
stopped
she didn't
hearing
have
it.
no more accent.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Go listen upon the replay,
Wow.
and then Umbrella, two different people.
Yeah.
I have one thing. I think for me, and I'm fine not ever knowing this with my barber, where I like legitimately asked him one time, like, I feel like you're bigger than a barber. Like, who are you as a person? And for us to like ease on out, I'm just curious, like, what do you represent? Like, you put crowns on people's heads, but it's literally like you're more than styling. You even talked about you do more things. Like, what is that box? Because like you're bigger than that box. Let's explode that box. Like, you're more than a stylist. You're more than all these things. How would you define who you are?
Who's Miko?
Who am I?
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like people really describe me as being like, they'd be like, "Oh, Miko's so sweet," or "Miko's da 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 da," you know. In another word, like I stand on business, right? So it's like there's no problem in that, but for me, like I am a family oriented person, you know, like I have a lot of nephews, so I'm always with my nephews. I'm like the best auntie.
Bro,
The rich auntie, yeah, the one that takes them like on all the fun things. And I'm also like, you know, like I feel it's like such a hard question because again, I feel like my work plays such a huge role in who I am and what I do that it was really hard to like love on me and put me first and like, okay, it's like I gotta turn it off. I could, you know. But one thing I would say, it's like I'm gonna take my vacations, I'm gonna turn it off, and I am the fun Miko, I'm the outgoing Miko, and it's like there's no more of that shy, quiet in certain places for me, especially if I'm around my people. I'm goofy. I'm always cracking up, whether it's jokes or watching something. Like I'm always such a goofy person. Like I'm never really that serious. But when people see me at work, they're like, "Oh, Miko's serious," you know? And it's like I'm really not. I'm goofy. Like people are like, "Are you good, girl?" Like I'm like, "Yes." So yeah, I guess that's me. Like I'm really just me. Like hope that answered your question.
No, it's just sometimes we get married to these identities of work sometimes, and people like you're more than just that. Like at the end of that haircut, I would never forget. I was like, more than a barber. Like I appreciate the services you do, but
he also has a life when he goes home. Whether it's kids or actual family or relationship, like couples and stuff. Oh yeah, I'm like, I gotta turn that switch off again. I'm always telling myself, okay, girl, turn your phone off or don't respond to this text. Like, if it's your day off, it's your day off. And my clients get on my head about it. They're like, Miko, you said you were gonna work on Mondays. Why are you working on a Monday? So it's like I do have those people that remind me of like, hey, you need your self time. Like, take your time off. So it's kind of nice to have those people that remind me of like taking care of myself, putting myself first.
Yeah, it's fire because at the end of the day, you're no good to anybody else if you're not good.
Good. Yep. I love that. Yeah, and that's literally what I tell myself sometimes. If I feel like not feeling good about something, I remind myself like that. I'm like, if I can't be good for myself, then I can't show up for others, and I think that's what my clients picked up too, is like if they know that there's something wrong, they're like, Miko, your vibe is different today. What's wrong? And I never open up to my clients. So, and if I do, it's like, okay, something's really wrong, So yeah, it's kind of nice to have those type of clients and people around you. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, man.
Well, I just want to say, and I know these gentlemen will individually, because I can't really speak for them, but I think they will show their grace individually. I want to thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you.
Like literally, you said I don't do public speaking, and then literally just killed it. And so this nervousness, like I don't know. I'll just say this: I'm just blessed for you feel comfortable to share your story, and I want to thank you so much for coming on today.
Oh, thank you so much. Honestly, thank you guys so much for having me. It just felt such a natural vibe with you guys, and it's such a dope like space too, as far as like the way you guys were asking questions and stuff made me feel real comfortable. That's dope. It's hard to get that sometimes with individuals. So thank you for having me. This was such a pleasure, and this means a lot to me. Again, I'm so passionate about who I am and what I do that it's dope to be able to talk about it with you guys. So thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Wow. Once again, we have all types of guests. This is gonna boost our women, female.
Yay! I would love to see more women. I would love to see like diverse.
Yeah, for sure.
And like have more diverse.
We tried. Now we tried.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I hope this helps, ladies. Like, dope people. So I recommend it.
We didn't say that.
You have a very diverse.
They didn't pay me to say that.
You got a very diverse client base too. So if you want to refer anybody, by all means, hit me up.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Tay.
No, I meant like you're crazy. No, I meant like to come on the show.
I'm always gonna joke with him.
You're hilarious. Now I know where you're going with this.
Until I find him a wife, I'm never gonna leave him alone about it. So
help me. I'm in the doghouse. I need an appointment.
I'm so dead. But dope. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
This man's wedding, I don't need to be in the front as long as you see my sign and said, finally, nigga.
I'm so dead. That's a fact. Oh my god.
Put his jersey in the rafters.
Yeah, I'm doing a destination wedding though.
Fair enough.
Seems like you.
Bro, it cuts out so much cost. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, 100%.
You know why?
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Because all your cousins and great aunts and uncles and stuff, they're gonna show up and not give a gift. Oh, we don't gotta worry about these plates. We don't have to worry about these tables. We don't have to worry about all these decorations. People that got money to go to wherever I'm gonna go, they're gonna be there. If not, I got me and my partner.
Okay, Tay, we like that.
Man, you planned this out. What else is in your diary?
We're not that far ahead yet. But,
You know I love you.
I know.
That's
If
funny.
you like what we're doing, please like, comment, subscribe. Once again, where can they find you?
Yep. So on Instagram, it is crowned by Meeks. Twitter or X. Is it Twitter or X? Never really on it,
I was
but
gonna say, you want it. I
it's
didn't
crowned
know.
by Meeks. Some people just tag me on there. TikTok. Make some TikToks. I think it's under crowned by Meeks as well, or _ Meeks. And yeah, on my social, as far as like website, where to find all my classes. I do one-on-one trainings. That's all linked in my bio. So if you guys are interested in learning more, and things like that, or all just the things that I offer, all in my website and linked in my bio. Yeah.
Well, that's what we call a wrap.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Thank you once again for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Probably wondering if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. But shit, I think they call them groupies now.